well, Lynn and I were trying to explain last night, but it was hard to get above the noise, which was a great thing. There was so much networking taking place. I am just so excited to be here and to really get to experience the event that I've been working with the team to help plan and deliver on for so many months. This is really my first chance to get to meet many of you, so let me share a little bit who I am to break the ice a bit. I was born and raised in Berwick, Pennsylvania. I don't know how many Pennsylvanians we have in the audience besides Jim Roddy, but that's where I'm from. My mom is actually still there in the town where I grew up, Berwick. It's a little town smack dab in the middle of nowhere, not too far from the Poconos. My mother was a nurse, my dad was a state policeman, and we had a pretty modest lifestyle. And when I was about 2.5 years old, everything changed. My father was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, my mom went into labor prematurely, and our lives changed forever, physically, mentally, and financially. We had pretty modest means before, but after that took place, there just really wasn't any disposable income. So growing up, we learned that we had to pretty much entertain ourselves, and we were lucky enough to have a tremendous support system. One aspect of that support system was my dad's nieces and nephews. There were 5 of them. They were all older than me. They were complete hellions, but they loved having my brother and I around. All 5 of them worked at a nearby family-owned amusement park called Knoebels Grove, still around today, in fact. It's an old-school amusement park. They have a band shell, and you can hear polka bands playing. You can always smell French fries in the air. And it's in this neat little kind of wooded area where everybody can just walk around for free. Basically, all you pay for are what you do. If you want to buy a ticket and ride a ride, you can. If you just want to have an ice cream, you can do that. And the great part for us was having 5 cousins that worked at the park enabled us to get a lot of discounts. When we were with our cousins at the Grove, as the locals call it, and we were either swimming or roller skating, or oftentimes in line for the flume or the roller coaster. We all saw the roller coaster ride this morning, and I have to tell you, I just love the thrill of roller coasters. I just don't know what it is, but I can't get enough of them. And at Knoebels, again, modest means, but yet an affordable place to hang out, on dollar night, you could buy a wristband and you could ride the rides, as many as you could, from 6 to 10 p.m. for $1. Yes, I'm older than you think, dollar night. As I got older, I started to expand my horizons a little bit and actually got to experience roller coasters in other locations. There was the Comet at Hershey Park. There was the Super Duper Looper, where I even have the t-shirt saying, I survived the Super Duper Looper. A roller coaster that was at the Jolly Rogers Amusement Park in Long Beach Island, New Jersey. But just no matter where I was, it didn't matter the location, I still got that same ride. It was excitement, it was fear, it was all rolled up into one. And actually, still today, I love them. Lynn mentioned my 6.5-year-old. We've recently introduced him to roller coasters, and you know what? He seems to be a pretty big fan, too. So it got me thinking, what makes roller coasters so appealing? Well, as I reflect on it, I see 5 independent stages of a roller coaster ride. And there are really specific feelings and emotions that each one of those stages evoke that pertain, I think, to life and work and family as well. Think about that first one. This is the queue. This is the easy part. You jump in line, maybe you go willingly because you're excited or a friend's dragging you along with peer pressure, but this is the pretty easy space. You're standing there, there's a lot of chatter going on, it's kind of exciting, maybe you see pictures of people who rode the ride ahead of you, but really, not any pressure here, everything feels pretty good. Stage 2, the climb. Oh, the anticipation, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you ride those old school roller coasters. You're buckled in, you start to pull out of the station, and you feel the tick, tick, tick pulling you up. And you start to look around and realize that you're not on solid ground anymore. Stage 3, the point of no return, or as I like to call it, the holy crap moment. This is the tipping point. There is absolutely nowhere to go but forward. You feel gravity take over and speed picks up, and this is generally where you start to hear people screaming. Stage 4, the great unknown. Twisting, turning, going upside down, and just about the time you think you know which direction you're going, it takes you in another direction. There's just so much uncertainty. And finally, stage 5, pulling back into the station. What sweet relief this is, because suddenly, whether you loved it or hated it, you know this ride is coming to an end and you're going back to the kind of that solid ground that you're more familiar with. So I encourage you to think about your own personal roller coaster style, whether it's literally or figuratively. How do you choose to embrace it? Like these individuals with your arms up, smiling, cheering, letting the adrenaline drive you forward? Or maybe you're still a little bit uncertain, but at least you're embracing the experience. Or maybe you approach it more like this. Fearful, unable to enjoy it. Maybe you even close your eyes because you really just don't even want to know what's going on, and you're just hoping that it's over soon. So you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, this chick is completely crazy. What does this have to do with retail technology? And what I would say to you is it's really all about change and uncertainty. Change and uncertainty within the industry, within your business, and yes, even within RSPA. And just like the stages of the roller coaster, we're going to have holy crap moments, times when we can't see what's ahead, times when we're twisting and turning and just where we think we know we're going, we get taken in another direction, and yep, maybe sometimes at the end we even feel a little bit dizzy. Because the way consumers are behaving is changing, which means that retailers have to change, and we in turn have to adapt to accommodate and support that. Or we have the risk of becoming irrelevant, or even worse maybe, unnecessary. You know, I think when I have conversations with people, some people think that this feels really unique and very different. And what I would ask you to do is think about other industries, because there are many other industries that have gone through similar change. Think about major medical equipment like MRI machines, where they shifted from a capital expenditure model to a SaaS model. Look at financial services, where they used to have the old school insurance guy, and yes, guy, to the fact of where they are now with providing a variety of products and services in many different ways to many different consumers. Both experienced that shift to SaaS, and both also had channel conflict. They were not too dissimilar from where we're at today, yet they have thriving industries. It feels unique, it feels like it's never been done, but it has, and we can truly learn from them. It just oftentimes takes fresh eyes and a new perspective to help get us there. So I invite you to climb aboard, fasten your seatbelt, and join me on this roller coaster ride ahead of us. We know there are going to be twists and turns. We know we're going to have uncertainty, but together we have this great ability to share knowledge, to make connections, and to help support one another's success. And someday, when we all roll into the station together, regardless of which one of these individuals you look or feel like, we're going to clap each other on the back and say we made it. Thank you. I'm also a very quick learner, so let's have a little moment of wow. Thank you, Dennis. Before I leave the stage, I was once told that if you want to get people to like you, you should give them something. So I'm going to embrace that right now for a few minutes. When you came in this morning, each one of you should have received a yellow ticket. You want to pull out your yellow tickets? I'm going to ask my fabulous sidekick, Elena Turner, RSPA's Director of Finance, Operations, and Events, to join me on the stage. Maybe we'll have to call you Vanna Turner from now on. We're going to pull 3 tickets from this bowl. And the 3 individuals whose numbers we call, we would ask you to step up to the stage as we break, and we're going to provide each one of you with 2 evening passes to Walt Disney World to ride the roller coasters. I want to see the opportunity for you to ride the coasters and see if you have a different perspective or a different viewpoint after sharing a few minutes together this morning. So the winners are 073843. Did somebody claim that one? 073309. Everybody's still waking up. And 073835. And before we go to break, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. I've read that the reason people are drawn to roller coasters is that they make you feel very alive to be so scared, that you really react to something that demands your full attention so forcefully that all of your senses are engaged. And it's such a different feeling from that semi-awake state that we find ourselves usually in, where we're multitasking. But what we need to do is be fully engaged together as we face the challenges ahead, and I look forward to riding with you. Thank you, have a great break, and please come back at 10:15 for the membership meeting. Hopefully they'll come now.